Well, that was going to be my next question, because this just seems to be the tip of the iceberg. The Russian collusion hoax, which did so much damage, which was just based on utter nothingness. It was a political campaign that was used to spy on the Trump administration, that was used to really undermine Americans' faith in their democracy. There are so many Americans to this day who think Russia influenced or even bought that election. When are we going to see some consequences for people who were complicit in that betrayal? I mean, that was, I think, again, we've seen so many scandals in the last 10 years. The president being cognitively impaired would have been probably the top one. But the Russian collusion hoax and the way it undermined the American people's faith in democracy, that's got to be right up there.
Oh, it's right near the top of the very list. By the way, John Brennan, who was involved in the Russiagate hoax, at least the Trump DOJ is alleging it, and I certainly myself very much believe that. John Brennan, let's not forget, also affixed his name to the infamous Hunter Biden laptop letter from the 51 deep state spooks. This letter that came in essentially within hours after the New York Post having that article about Rudy Giuliani in Delaware at the laptop at Hunter Biden. We all know that story by now. By the way, Rita, a very fun, forgotten detail of that 51 deep state spook letter, the letter that had Clapper and Brennan and all the usual old Obama bros sign off and call it Russia disinformation. A very fun detail is that the then Biden-Harris campaign staffer who was actually detailed to make that letter happen within 24 hours was a foreign policy campaign staffer by the name of Antony Blinken, the man who would become the United States Secretary of State. So the pieces really do start to all come together here. I mean, this is a really nefarious operation there. Again, I'm hoping that we're going to get some justice. I don't want to mislead the audience, though. I would be pleasantly surprised if there is any substantive justice here. But at this point, Rita, very sadly, I have myself personally gotten accustomed to simply just not getting any kind of justice for some of this country, perhaps even this world's greatest scandals. What about the COVID-19 lockdowns? Are we going to get any accountability from all the people who have cost these children years of their lives and their most precious developmental years when it comes to learning and social skills? None of it. So I hate to be a pessimist and the bearer of bad news, but I myself have personally gotten accustomed to not getting justice. And when you set expectations low, Rita, any kind of justice then ends up being a big one.
Now, before you go, Josh, Donald Trump is being urged to sue Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez into bankruptcy after she posted some highly defamatory stuff about him on X. The Democrat congresswoman tweeted this. She said, "Wow, who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files?" Josh, is she really that dim that she doesn't understand that what she tweets can see her sued? She has no immunity on X, or does she think she's untouchable?
Well, you know, let's not forget that people have accused Donald Trump of various forms of rape for many years now. In fact, we actually just had one of Donald Trump's many legal ordeals in New York City pertaining to this alleged rendezvous in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room off Fifth Avenue in New York City back in the 1990s. And the judge in that case very clearly concluded that there was no rape. There was perhaps some sort of maybe kind of sort of sexual harassment or misdeed, but there was not anywhere remotely even close to rape. So there's actually been a legal ruling establishing this in very recently. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not just wrong. She is absolutely, according to a New York court, again, just in the past year and a half, 2 years, she is easily setting herself up for very legitimate defamation. By the way, given Donald Trump's litigious nature, he's nothing if not litigious. We know that about Donald Trump over many decades now. How stupid you have to be to put this out there. I mean, like, how dumb do you actually have to be? I mean, holding aside the truth for a second, like, why would you subject yourself to this? Like, you know, the guy loves his lawyers. He loves sending cease and desist letters. He loves kind of lawyering up there. The guy lives and breathes the legal drama of the courtroom. Why would you do this? I mean, it frankly says more about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's utterly appalling stupidity, frankly, than anything else.
Well, yeah, he's had a couple of big wins recently too, hasn't he, Josh, with ABC and CBS. So, yeah, he'd probably have an appetite for launching some legal action. But I think she would enjoy the attention. She could play the victim again. The president's coming after me personally. He wants to bankrupt me. And it will just give her so much more airtime. Josh Hammer, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Rita.